Hi, my name is Ashley Vasquez, and this is assignment SDG 4. I'm going to be talking about gender equality in Iraq. Women's fight for equality has been going on since the beginning of time. As women, we have had to fight for the right to vote, deal with arranged marriages, sexual and physical abuse, pay gaps, lack of access to education and jobs, and overall being viewed as a man's property. SDG 5, which is gender equality, aims to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls. Because of gender roles, adolescent girls may face a burden of domestic work, expectations to be married, risks of early pregnancy, as well as sexual and gender based violence. Globally, 650 million girls and women alive today have been married as children. Gender equality in Iraq. Iraq placed last out of 170 countries on the Women, Peace, and Security Index. Rather than seeking higher education and a career, Iraqi women are expected to marry young and to be obedient wives and mothers. The country also ranks amongst the highest for gender based violence. 35 out of every 100 women are exposed to violence at the hands of an intimate partner, meaning a husband or even parents. Illiteracy rates among teenage girls are almost double of those as boys. Only 14% of women are employed compared to 73% of men. Although the clothing requirements have adapted over time, women are still required to dress modestly. Typically, women wear hijabs or something to cover their hair in order to represent modesty and purity. But as you go on to countries that are more developed, you'll see women that are still dressing modestly in long pants, long sleeves, and covering up most of their bodies. This map shows countries around the world where women are required by law to obey their husbands, and Iraq is one of the few. Women's civil liberties. So this chart shows the, based on assessments, it shows which women are free from forced labor, have property rights, and access to the justice system. So it's from 0 to 1, and 1 meaning the most rights. As you can see, it's gone up, but in recent years, their rights have gone down substantially. And they're still at not even half of the scale to how many rights. Okay, so in order to help gender equality in Iraq, I have a few areas of improvement. So for education, many women and children are not provided with the opportunity of education, leaving many reliant on men in order to eat or have shelter because they don't have the opportunity to higher education and getting a job, which is where the money comes from. Then professional help. Survivors of sexual and physical abuse should be provided with psychological and physical help. Counseling services as well as doctor visits can be extremely helpful to the women and girls of Iraq who have been assaulted physically or sexually, because there is a lot that they need taken care of, whether it's STD screenings as well as being diagnosed with PTSD or anxiety. There also, another thing that could really be helpful would be shelters for battered women and children that provide a safe place for them to hide while helping them create a plan to escape their abusers. Food and shelter programs. 10% of Iraqi households are run by women. Because of the significant income differences, many women that are running their households are living in poverty and starving. The next section is women in power. So there needs to be an increase in women that have political roles, women that understand the struggle and are passionate about the cause in order to enact change. And because a lot of the people that have power are men that don't care and that don't care to see things be changed. The next would be changing the marriage laws. Um, as shown before, women in Iraq are still required to obey their husband, which um, puts them in harm's way and a lot of dangerous situations. And then the last one would be provide women with equal job opportunities so they're able to provide for themselves and their children and are not reliant on a husband. Because again, a lot of women in this country are reliant on husbands because they can't get jobs, they can't go to school, they're illiterate, they don't have any money, and so they need somebody else to provide for them.